Hey everybody, this is Gavin with UpRockAudio.com. Today we're doing another song tutorial, this time an acoustic version of Trey Songz' track, Say Ah. This is following the rendition that was done on the Season 2 episode of The Voice, performed by Lindsey Pavao, or Pavao, I like Pavao, whatever you prefer. Lindsey Pavao. So make sure you check out her performance if you haven't already, and be sure to download the track because it's awesome. So let's go ahead and go over how to play this. First off, we have our guitar capoed at the 5th fret. That's going to put it in the key that she performed it in. And we've got 4 chords, only 4 chords for this song. First chord is an A minor. Second chord we're doing is an F major, and I'm going to finger it this way. You could also do a bar, but for those of you beginners who aren't interested in having to do a bar chord for this song, go ahead and form a C chord, move your middle finger down 1 string, and add your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. So it basically is a F major 7 with a C in the bass here, for those of you who recognize that. Okay. Our 3rd chord is the regular old C. And then from there we're going to go to an E dominant or an E7. And if you know your E major chord, all you have to do after setting that up is lift up your 3rd finger. If you don't know that chord, it's the same shape as an A minor chord. So take your A minor, move it up 1 set of strings, lift your 3rd finger so you have an open 4th string, and there's your E dominant chord. So those are the chords you're going to need to perform this song. First off, let's go over the strum pattern that you're going to use. Now, for those of you who will fingerpick the song, you'll probably do the strum pattern at the end during the outro choruses. For those of you who don't want to do any fingerpicking, this can be the strum pattern you use throughout the entire thing. So, what we have is a full pattern. It's going to happen 1 time per chord. To break that down a little bit, I'm doing a down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. I'll play that again a little bit faster. So there's those syncopations in there where I'm skipping one of my down strums. Those might be a little bit tricky for beginners, but stick at it and go slow and you should be able to get that down. And then that same pattern per chord. So again, it's down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, that's our strum pattern. And again, you can either play that throughout the entire song or add that in towards the end during the outro choruses when it gets big and the drums and everything enters in the track. All right, the next step is to take a look at the finger picking in the beginning of the song. This is the way I prefer to play it throughout the intro and all the first verse and chorus sections. The way you can do this, there's 2 ways to perform the finger picking. I'm going to give you the same string pattern. You'll be picking the same order of strings, but there's 2 different ways that you can do it with your right hand. The first way is more of a classical style where you're using all 4 of your finger picking fingers over here, the thumb, index, middle, and the ring finger. And for the purpose of writing a chart out for this, you want to know that that's P for the thumb, I for the index, M for the middle, and A for the ring finger. Don't ask me why, we'll talk about that later. But that's what you'll see on the chart. So, for our pattern, it's going to be a really nice kind of rolling finger picking pattern. Let me break that down for you once. I'll just call off the strings that we're playing here. I'm going to be playing, I'll use string numbers. So when I talk about my string numbers, I number from the 1st string being my thinnest string, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then the 6th string being the thickest string, the lowest sounding string. So we're going to go 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string, then back to the 4th string. Now I'm going to hit the 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string. Then it's going to feel like you're repeating. Thumb on the 5th, index on the 4th, middle on the 3rd. Now index on the 4th again, middle finger on the 3rd, ring finger up there on the 2nd string, and then we're going to walk back down. 3rd, 4th, and then the root note on the 5th string. That can be pretty confusing. Let me go ahead and go through that one more time. So it's 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be easier to figure out once you see the chart for it. And then you would do that same pattern for each individual chord, hitting the root note with your thumb. On the A minor, F, and the C chords, it's the same exact root, which is the 5th string root. Now when I do my E dominant chord, I'm going to move my thumb over to the 6th string. Okay, so that's the more classical way, using proper technique and as many fingers as possible. If you want to do the finger style, but you are wanting to use your more dominant fingers, that would be your thumb, index, and middle. And this is how a lot of fingerstyle or alternate bass players will do it. And so what we'll do here is the same pattern of hitting the strings, but I'm actually going to double up with my thumb. So I'm going to go thumb, 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 thumb. Same exact pattern of strings, just using a slightly different fingering over here. Let me demonstrate that one more time. So thumb, thumb again. I double it up over here again. And by doing that, I'm able to omit the ring finger. So that's just a personal preference thing. People who have a classical background, they're going to want to do the first one. If you've done a little bit of finger picking, but you've never actually practiced finger picking with your ring finger, don't worry about it. Do the second version. It's going to sound the same either way. The other element you can add into the song is the piano part that you'll hear during the intro and actually in the background throughout the verses. That is just a really simple lead line. Now what I'm playing there relative to the capo, again I have a capo at the 5th fret, so 5 frets above that, I'm hitting that note there, then I'm dropping to 3 frets above the capo, 1 fret above the capo, the open string, and then 4 frets above the capo. Now that isn't too impressive by itself. Maybe if you're strumming it and you have another friend playing guitar, they can play that lead line. What I like to do is combine them both. And that's going to get a little bit tricky and it's a bit of an advanced technique. But basically what you'll do is combine the finger picking pattern and with your ring finger, you'll kind of pluck that first string throughout. So it's going to sound like this. Where I drop those notes in is at the very first note I hit, which is a root note with my thumb. And then I continue with my pattern. Then the first root that I hit with the F major chord. And then I drop as I go into the second half of that pattern for the F major. Then the open first string happens on the first note I pluck for the C chord. Again on the first note of the E7 chord. So very cool thing that you can add in if you're up for it. It'll just kind of add a little bit of interest during the intro. And because the song is so repetitive, it's really that same chord progression throughout. I would suggest, if you can, adding that into the intro, singing the vocal part during the verses, maybe adding it if you want to do an instrumental in there somewhere to break things up. And then switching to the strum pattern when you get to the choruses at the end during the outro section. So in order to get the song structure, go ahead and check out her track, and you can find that available on iTunes below in the comments section. But it's a very simple structure, so you won't have a hard time figuring it out. With the lyrics in front of you, it's just the same 4-chord progression, whether you're strumming it or finger picking it. And I would just suggest getting a little bit more intense, a little bit louder during the choruses, and definitely at the end, break into some strumming and really bring that out and try to sing it like she does. So very awesome track. If you haven't listened to it yet, make sure you check out her version, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys here next time. Enjoy your playing.